Welcome in, everybody. It's All Pro Lines, the podcast. I'm your host, Kostaki Economopoulos. I'll be joined by our boy, Glenn Grizzard, here in a minute. And Merry Christmas. It's a very weird and random Christmas taping of All Pro Lines. Both Glenn and I have busy plans tomorrow. So we're like, all right, let's do it Christmas Day. It's also my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I am very thankful to have a tree because I have been trapped here all week. I have COVID. Well, I don't have COVID anymore, but I had COVID and I'm just sitting here. I was very happy to have a Christmas tree with the lights and all the things. People have been good. Lots of good messages, a couple of nice deliveries, very thoughtful folks around, and had to miss some plans and not go to Atlanta. And it was challenging. It was weird. It was a weird week. There's something beautiful about being completely by yourself for a while, I have to say. And also something very sad. So it was both. It was nice to get some stuff done and to have no real pressure to do things. And that's the thing about COVID. Nobody expects you to be productive. It's not like, hey, did you go to the gym? Did you finish the project with all the video editing and nobody expects you to do anything. So that's nice. But I weirdly did get a lot done and I had some time to myself and some parts of it were awesome. So anyway, let's see. Do we have anybody? Are the people here? Let's see. It's a weird day to have. The feed says we got people. There's a few people watching, which is extra weird on a Christmas day. Robert Hainline. I hope I said your name right. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Most of you guys will, of course, hear this later in your ear holes whenever it's convenient for you, and we love you for that. So, all right, let's do the
2-minute drill.
I'm never going to say Zappy Holidays, but I would like to wish you a Barry Christmas, a Barry Sanders Christmas. How about that, Lions fans? 30 years since the last division title. You did it. Your team doesn't suck. This is very exciting. Haven't won in 30 years. The last time the Lions were division champs, David Koresh and the Branch Davidians were stealing all the headlines. That is literally how long it's been. Bill Clinton was inaugurated as our brand spanking new president. Matt Rife was in diapers asking his parents what they do for a living. Yeah, the Lions, man. Lions haven't had a record this good since the Christians. Huh? Classics, everybody. Classics. Usually when Detroit is number one at something, it's the NFL draft or foreclosures or M&M indictments or black strip clubs per capita. Zach Wilson unable to play this week, but I hope this doesn't hurt their playoff chances. What? He's completely healthy, just not able to play. We established that this year. The Jets started Trevor Siemian to finally answer the question: can a monkey run this offense? Siemian, he gave them a chance to evolve. It's an offense. The Jets are in the Aaron Rodgers practice window. This team stinks. All the windows are open. So this week, the Commanders had the 32nd best defense, and they played the Jets with the 32nd best offense, and the Jets won. So I think the Commanders should be relegated to the ACC. That seems fair, right? You lost fair and square. See you later. They ran out of ugly sweaters in Wisconsin, so the Packers went with an ugly win against the Panthers. Gardner Minshew said Sunday's loss is a lesson about taking teams lightly. Wait, who did the Colts play this week? Oh, it was the mighty Atlanta Falcons. Why would you take the Falcons lightly, Gardner Minshew? Cowboys and Dolphins who struggled against good teams. They played each other this week and struggled. So I still don't know. They're both they're suspect. Both of these teams to me are Wouldn't shock me if they lost the first game of the playoffs or if they went deep. These two teams they're a little bipolar. We'll see what happens. If you have Amari Cooper in your fantasy playoffs, congrats. You're in the Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness. Amari Cooper scored more than Bradley Cooper. I saw the highlights. Amari Cooper is number 2. That's his jersey number. Wait, they didn't retire Johnny Manziel's number? What's the guy got to do to get respect in this town? All right, here are the Cooper power rankings. You got Bradley, Alice, Amari, Cup, and DB. Huh? That's about right. These are debate. That's the fun of power rankings. You can debate them. Anderson Cooper, maybe somewhere in there. Cooper Manning, maybe. There's a lot of Coopers. Michigan offered Jim Harbaugh a contract with a no NFL clause. It's time to get a contract like this to Kadarius Toney. He's, by the way, as we're taping this, recording? I don't know. Do they say tape or not? There's no tape anymore. Kadarius is a healthy scratch today. There's a live Chiefs game happening, and he is not in it. I could do some more meanderings with some other thoughts about being alone or Christmas. I could do more jokes, but that's enough of all that stuff. Let's do a couple plugs and bring in our guest. Erie and Ashtabula coming up mid-January. If you're in that part of the world, make your plans. Come on. We're doing it. We got a radio deal in place with Ashtabula, and Erie's at the VFW. It's going to be fun. Patreon.com has a little spiel. You can just type in All Pro Lines and figure out how to support your favorite podcast or one of your favorite podcasts or a podcast that you have heard of. You can do that. Underdogfantasy.com. Type in All Pro Lines in the code situation and get $100, up to $100 matched to your original deposit. We just signed a deal with a new friend in the gambling universe, and I'll give you some details about that next week. Blah, 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 blah. Here's Glenn.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's your intro. Blah, blah.
You're too nice.
What I meant to say was enough of what I'm doing without you. That's the intention. It didn't come out very well, but that was the goal. Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
You get a spirited hat on.
It's I'm going for the New Year look, Christmas and festivity. I don't have a crown or a Santa hat.
I like it. It's very Florida.
It's a Key West hat. It's made out of hemp.
It's made out of hemp, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What is hemp?
It's the rope that they used to make stuff out of that's too much like weed, so they made it illegal.
But it's not the same plant. It's a slightly different. It's a cousin of the weed plant.
I think so. I don't want to get into all my horticultural knowledge and give it all away.
I don't want to. I won't show the address, but one Christmas card was returned to me, and it was yours. I sent a bunch this year, and I did something wrong. Are you not on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard?
Yeah, in the right unit.
Something's got screwed up. Oh, I don't have a unit. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Oh, I'll have to write a unit. Send it to you.
Okay.
How's life, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. I'm glad to be not at work on a Monday. That's a good time. I got football on, watching the Chiefs have their hands full with the mighty Raiders.
No kidding. I was following along with some of the details. I was like, wait, what's happening? So you have CBS in your fancy pants world that you live in?
Oh yeah. I'm on the YouTube TV.
Okay. I've been experimenting this year. It's ridiculous. I every time I think of the Jim Gaffigan bit about the streaming services, they should bundle them into something and call it cable.
Yeah, that would make it a lot easier. I was talking to Jeff about it. It's like to turn on the TV is like a 35-second process that I got to go through the profiles and everything before the TV actually comes on. And then every time I change the channel from one game to another, it's like a 4 or 5 step process. Like it used to be so easy.
It's weird. I know some of the things, and in terms of the streaming, the quality of streaming is not very good sometimes. It's weird that we've gone backwards. But it's not just the internet, because my internet is like if I watch like HBO or something, it's perfect, or Netflix. But if I'm watching a streaming like a game, it's glitchy.
Yeah.
Something's weird. So we've gone backwards in some ways. I don't know.
Yeah. We're supposed to pay more for it, I'm sure, to get a better quality.
I understand the premise. They've spread the NFL amongst all these different things that you can't just buy one thing, and it's just stupid.
Yeah.
If they fished me in, I tried. You know what I tried to do this year? Not to bitch too much, just briefly, but I tried. Yeah, I said, okay, I'm going to do NFL Plus and ESPN Plus. That way I get Sports Center, and I get the Red Zone, and I get all the extra NFL stuff, and I get the extra ESPN articles, whatever. You know what ESPN Plus doesn't have? Sports Center. What? How does it? What? It doesn't have Monday Night Football? No, it doesn't have either. It doesn't have either of the two things that I wanted.
It's how Paramount did with Yellowstone. They suck you in with Yellowstone, put it on a different Paramount, and then it's on the network. Then it's back on the streaming.
Yeah. So now I have. I went back to Sling so that I could get Sports Center and ESPN Monday Night Football. And then I've got the NFL package things with the NFL universe. And then I had to get Peacock for Sunday night. And about a year ago, my mom finally convinced me, like, you don't need, the pay extra for the Amazon Prime or whatever, because you don't order stuff enough. And so I ordered a bunch of paper towels and toilet paper and everything. And I canceled Amazon Prime, and the next day it was like, Thursday Night Football is only available on Amazon Prime. You bastards. You bastards. But like Sling doesn't have CBS.
Right.
Well, what the hell? It's ridiculous how hard it is to keep up with all the things.
Yeah, that was a lot easier in my day.
Yeah, you had 3 channels.
Now, I don't know if I've missed it, but has there been a conclusion to that rental car you stole?
Oh, a tentative conclusion is in my favor.
I think a lot of people are curious.
What day is it?
Christmas.
I think I made it. Just super fast. I rented a car from the no-name fly-by-night scam organization rental car company here in LA. I went to Oregon. They shut the car down, which I didn't even know I was being tracked or that you could shut a car down. Both of those were news to me because I crossed the state line, which they didn't tell me about. The rental car price was about $30. I think it was like $27 a day. And the fee for crossing the state line was $1,500.
What a bargain.
What are you motherfuckers? They didn't tell me. It's not in the contract. It wasn't on a sign. There's no mention of it. They just want you to, and later I found out and dealing with this crazy company, they won't talk to you on the phone. They pass you around. It's like this is what they do. One of the other guys in the lobby when I was there complaining had dealt with some other crazy thing and they were fucking him and he was trying to deal with that. And then you look at the contract and all, like, scratches on the wheels are like $350 per wheel. Like this is a scam organization. This is what they do. I complain that they wouldn't do anything. They have the fees on there. They charged it immediately. They wouldn't talk to me. I go to Amex. Amex refunds me the money and is pending an investigation. And they sent me a letter that if I didn't hear back from them by, I think they said December 22nd, that it had been handled and settled. So I think I got my money back is what I think happened.
Well, that's good.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
All right. I was worried.
I was worried. I was so mad. I was so mad. I've already complained to many of the forces that be about it all. I'm surprised that kind of thing doesn't happen more often. Slimy business practices where people are not earnestly trying to do a good job. They're trying to F you. You know what I mean?
You may be in just enough of an economic position to not have to deal with them on a daily basis. I mean, I bet maybe. A lot of people have a lot of shady people in their life.
I have very few. This kind of thing doesn't happen very often. When you work, well, like when you go to even within the same industry, if you go to Hertz or whatever, Hertz wants you to be happy. You put a dent in the side of their car that's small, they don't even blink, like they want you to go on and live your full life and never have a problem with Hertz. That's their motivation. So there's an earnest business practice that's happening with big time auto companies like that. But if you get to the little shady, like there's a couple of them that I see all the time that I don't deal with, any of that thrifty dollar and below. I'm like, no, because
Really?
it's the opposite.
All you need for a rental car company is a car. I mean, that you could really you get it off the ground with that. The guy comes in, put it on the internet, and he takes your car. But yeah, I guess you got to put some stops on it then.
Yeah, but you can't, you're not on Orbitz or Expedia. You're not found by the universe, right? That was the first thing I did with this fly-by-night thing is I called those companies and were like, this is a criminal organization. You should not be in partnership with them. No one should go to your site and find a way to book a car with this company. So hopefully I put a dent in their situation. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
But I think I'm clear. I think I'm good.
Okay, good. I wanted to update, so we can talk about football now.
All right. What do you hope happens? What are you rooting for? There's some great storylines this year.
I mean, I guess I'm still stuck with the dang Falcons. If we're gonna, we might as well get into that foolishness. I mean, they looked like a halfway decent offense yesterday, and their defense looked amazing.
Right.
But I mean, it was the Colts, and it was Gardner Minshew. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm. I was going to mention that.
Yeah, but 10 points. I mean, you hold a team to 10 points in the NFL. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's kind of amazing, actually, that they could do that well. But it's one of these, like the Dolphins and the Cowboys have done this all year. They play great against terrible teams, and then it's a good team, and it's a coin flip. Or
I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs or anything, but I might watch again if it's on my TV.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
The Bucs played late yesterday, so I got the early game, and somehow it was the Falcons Colts out of all the choices.
Oh, that's cool. That's weird. That was your choice.
Yeah.
That's got to be a regional thing because you're close-ish.
I mean, usually we'll get all the Bucs games, and since the Bucs were playing the Jaguars, I guess that took up two of the possible Florida teams.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of them, they look pretty good.
Yeah. I told you Baker Mayfield was this year's what's his name? The quarterback in Seattle. He's this year's Geno Smith. He went to a team. He's gonna get a fresh start. He's not as terrible as we think, and it's fine. They're gonna earn the right to get murdered in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll get that solid 9-8, is it?
Yeah, they're going to host the Cowboys. Is what's going to happen, probably.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the Cowboys are trustable. I don't think the Dolphins are trustable. I don't think it's going to be the Niners. It's just going to be, let's just line up and be smashed by the Niners is what's going to be on this side.
It's going to be a good test. I mean, I don't think the Niners have proven that they're that much better than Baltimore yet. I mean, Baltimore's got a good team.
We'll see. I think, yes, Baltimore is definitely top 5 teams in the NFL right now. So, yeah, that's a great matchup. The last Monday night game.
A weekly choice between Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson in fantasy, and I picked the wrong one every single time. Every single time I picked the wrong one all year long.
Pick one more wrong time next week. That's your last fantasy. It's going to be you and me, right?
We're clashing for the 5th. Seventh pick.
Oh, for the 7th. You're right. Yeah. The fifth pick and
the higher we pick, right?
7th place.
I'm definitely tanking this game.
You can't. There's no tanking. We covered this.
Oh, I hadn't heard. We should open it up to the crowd. Is it fair to tank in the fantasy league?
It is. It's okay. It's Christmas Day. No one's in here. Hey, Ron Milford, what's up, man? Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Keith Cocking is in here. What's up, Keith?
Well, he already knows.
And Robert Handline and Jonathan McScrappy McKinney. All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Got a few people in here saying hi. We appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Paranormal Chop Shop. What kind of name is that for a guy? Merry Christmas to you too, man. Yeah, it's too hard to even go into. What do you even say? But the baseline for fantasy is that you start a full team. And if you ultimately don't start a full team because you're completely clocked out, it's unfair to the other. Unfair is debatable. It definitely changes the situation that the rest of the dialed in players are dealing with, right? So I think requiring that you start a full team is not too much to ask. It's less than a minute to just look right before, 1 p.m. on Sunday. Like, okay, I got all these guys are not out of the team or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's a big difference between being checked out and being completely going for loss.
Yes, of course. And I don't think we've had that. I don't think we've had any earnest tanking efforts. And I think we should just make sure that we don't. And you got to start a full team. It's because if whatever zoned out player doesn't, and then Glenn gets an easy win, and I'm against Glenn or trying for a playoff win or get a playoff berth, and you have to start a full team. That's the easy answer to. We don't require stat nerddom, but Jesus, have a defense that's actually playing this week. That's all.
Or a kicker.
That's not too much to ask. Or a kicker. And in some cases, defense and a kicker. You just don't have a defense or a kicker playing? Get your shit together. So anyway, you and I were both very close to fantasy playoffs in this league, and then not.
We both had numbers to do it and couldn't get the points.
It sucks.
Yeah. Again, 2 years in a row that I've had a same record as the number 4 seed, and I lose it on points.
Yeah, it sucks. I just barely eked in last year and then won the whole thing.
It still should be head-to-head competition. Should be a better tiebreaker than points.
Yeah, but some guys you play twice, right?
No, but it's not. I mean, if it's tied up that way, then you go to points. The number 1 tiebreaker should be head-to-head. That's the way it is in every football league, every football world.
I think it's points because you want to root for points during the whole season. That's more of a measure of quality fantasy team.
Well, that's not how you make the playoffs in the NFL.
You're trying to minimize the flukiness of fantasy.
Yes, because it always goes against me.
Points is a better way to do it. Your team's not as good. That's what I'm saying. You pick the right quarterback, you wouldn't have this problem.
Mm-hmm. Yes, if I would get when Lamar goes for 35 and Purdy goes for 12, and I've got him on the bench. It's
you play what's his name, the running back. You play Pacheco when he's sitting on a bench. That's your problem.
Yeah, that was a bad decision.
But it's fine. You're not tanking. You just goofed. And I had the same thing with the kicker that, like, first of all, most teams don't even have 2 kickers. Somehow that stupid team, like 1 minute before kickoff, was like, this guy's benched. Like, wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's not tanking. That's just whatever. You goof it.
Yeah.
No one's mad about goofing it.
Okay.
All right. What about so you're not sold on the Niners?
No, I'm pretty sold on the Niners, but I think if anybody's going to give them a game, the Ravens will. I mean, they've had their off weeks.
But who's going to give them a game in their conference?
Yeah, but didn't the Browns beat the 49ers one weekend?
Yeah, they're not undefeated.
Yeah.
Somebody did. Yeah. Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Monday. Christmas Day.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. But who's over there? Rams, Cowboys, Eagles. All those teams look less good than I thought they were going to be.
Well, the Rams have been a little hotter lately. I think they might spoil somebody's day in the playoffs.
Rams are heating up. That'd be fun to see the Rams go deep.
For Stafford again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly
Stafford
more than most of those teams.
In like a lion, out like a ram.
Ooh.
I just saw that line yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's a good line.
I wonder if the Lions can win a playoff game.
The Lions would be great to root for. I hope so. They get some smushy opening. They get to host because they won the division, right? They get to play. Someone has to go to Ford Field for the first time ever.
They'll get a
They've never had a playoff game in Ford Field.
Wow. Not since the Silver Dome.
The last time I saw Ford Field was the same day that you kept me from enjoying black boobies.
Yep. Couldn't find my ID. Left it at the hotel. Wouldn't let us in the black strip club.
Have you ever been to a black strip club?
Not like as black as that one was.
How did I get to be this age? It's my birthday today and never go to a black strip club. It's your fault.
Yes, I take full responsibility.
I'm not even a strip club guy, but once in a while when you're drunk in Detroit and you just came back from Billy Joel and eating Greek food, you want to go see some black titties and you ruined my life.
We could have really given some money away that night.
Just to tell the story briefly, Detroit is exactly what you think it is, but nicer. It's like there's a lot of cool restaurants and bars, and there's a scene, and it's kind of a cool downtown. When you hear about Detroit, you think like sometimes you imagine like Beirut or something, but no, it's Detroit's pretty nice, but it is definitely got some segregated vibe about it. Like you go into one bar, like you and I were running around, we go into one bar and it's like, hey, there's Hefeweizen and pints and we fit in here. And then we walk right into another bar and like everything stops and they look at us like, what the hell are you doing in here?
Record scratch.
Yes, there's definitely, I mean, it's all mixed up all in the same area. It's kind of beautiful, but also like you very much notice where you fit in the social universe. So you and I, we walked by a black. We had been drinking for like forever because we had to pregame for Billy Joel, and then we went to the Greek restaurant, and we had this crazy feast, and then we were like wandering around for a little while at the end of the night, and we walked by a black strip club, and you and I had a little debate. We're like, we're gonna go in. We're in Detroit. We're drunk. It's late. When are we going to go to a black strip club?
And I think we weren't going to pay a cover, but then there was no cover, but then it didn't have
Yeah, we debated. Like if it's less than $20, we're going in. And we go up and we go, what's the cover? He goes, there's no cover. We're like, what? I just need to see your IDs.
Which I had exchanged for use of the printer back at the hotel. Left there.
Your age starts with a 5, but you can't prove you're old enough to go into a strip club.
Yep, I was looking especially 19-ish that night.
It's your fault, Glenn.
Yep, pour some sugar on me.
Yes, the Billy Joel show is so great, and a guest appearance by what's his name?
Joe Elliott, is it?
Joe Elliott.
Yeah.
Def Leppard lead singer came out and did pour some sugar
on me with Billy Joel hobbling around behind him.
How is that not Eminem? Why is Eminem not appearing at the Billy Joel
or
concert?
Kid Rock, man?
Or Kid Rock. Well,
I think I would take Joe Elliott.
All of Motown is there.
Yes.
Detroit's pretty good, although it's kind of hard to give it the full grade because we were there when 30,000 Billy Joel fans like that gives it sort of a Yeah, it's sort of gives it a flavor that maybe it doesn't always have in Detroit. But it was I loved it. I was surprised how great the city was, I have to say.
Well, I wish them the best. I would love to see them make a run, make a championship game against 49ers instead of Dallas would be fun.
All right, screw it. I'm pulling up the standings and all the things. We're going to talk it through. Slow computer.
They
Talking
got
about the
weapons if golf can use them all.
Yeah.
Continuously.
Goff's one of those on his best days could beat anybody kind of guys.
Yeah.
So that's good. He could have one of those Nick Foles kind of runs where you're like, that's the guy who won everything. All right. The Dolphins are 11-4. That's pretty impressive. So they're likely to wind up ahead of the Bills and win the division. The Bills are only 9-6.
I think that's a deal.
Those are the two teams from that universe. The Jets and the Patriots suck. Ravens and Browns are both good. And the Steelers even are 8-7. And the Bengals are 8-7. Oh my goodness. That's the toughest division. Ravens 11-3. Is that right? Wow. Browns 10-5. Steelers 8-7. Bengals 8-7.
Steelers are not good though. They're not gonna be a threat. They don't have a quarterback.
I agree. But they could wind up in the playoffs somehow.
They could make the playoff, but lose in the first round.
Yeah, okay. But the Browns, Joe Flacco's gonna have a Cinderella story.
He is not either. They're not going anywhere either. They will get very excited about it and they'll get very close, but the Browns will not be winning anything.
And the Jaguars kind of suck lately.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any faith in them either. They only put up 12 on the Bucks.
Whoever comes out of that, it's going to be Jaguars, Colts, Texans. One of those teams has to be in it
all week.
So really, but you know, when it comes right down to it, and then the other division on the AFC side is Chiefs. It's pretty much Chiefs. There's Broncos. Yeah. So it's the teams that we're talking about that have a legit chance of Super Bowl appearance are the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and Dolphins.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe Browns. Okay. So that's a clear, I don't know. It's not as clear as it usually is. You got to give the Ravens the advantage here in all this stuff.
The 49ers look like the big team to beat on the other side.
So the other side, it's going to be Eagles and Cowboys are both in.
Yeah.
And then you got Lions and
Buccaneers.
Probably the Rams and maybe the Seahawks. But yeah, you got a Buccaneers kind of team and a Vikings Packers kind of team, maybe. But yeah, it's basically Eagles, Cowboys, Niners, Lions.
But if the Falcons win 2 and the Bucks lose 2, then we got a whole new landscape.
Cowboys at Falcons.
The Heineke era begins. He burns through the playoffs. Hottest offense in the league. All their weapons clicking on all gears. The defense in the top 5. Look out for them Falcons. That's the best I can do. That's all I can. That's
a good effort. Taylor Heineke, baby.
He is not. They are so average. He is,
average.
So tired of their quarterback.
I'm going to put them below average.
Yes.
All right. Well, I've been debating with Andreas about this for months. Where are you? What would you do if you were king with the Falcons right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to get some kind of quarterback in the draft or trade for somebody. I mean, we can't go another year with these two.
No shit. But what would you do? Because I always complain, and Andreas is like, well, yeah, there's not a lot of choices. What would you do? So he always presses me on it. What would you do?
Mm-hmm. I guess you got to trade a number 1 and a decent sized star for a quarterback.
Okay.
I mean, unless somebody is out there for reasonable priced. I can't think
Most
of
of the
anybody.
good ones are untouchable. You're
Yeah.
not going to get any of the Mahomes. There's
No.
like 7-10 dudes that are completely untouchable.
Yeah.
And then what? Who do you want?
I don't even know. I mean,
It's a mess. Justin Fields, I was watching with a little bit of like, last night.
yeah, I could see.
He's going to be available.
Yeah, that team needs to go a different direction.
Yeah. They got a lot of draft capital. They could get even more and restart the clock by getting a new quarterback. Well,
But I would like to see a new quarterback. That's all best I can do.
okay.
I don't think I can stand another one.
Let's do this.
Taps on the back. Taps on the back. Taps on the back. Taps on the back. Lot of kudos. Taps on the back. Lot of kudos. Taps on the back. Lot of kudos. Taps on the back. Lot of kudos.
Mine are to the it's on the nose, but I don't care. It's a team I've been wanting to be good for as long as I've been doing this, and they're good. The Detroit Lions, man.
Yep.
Their coach was he was a tight end on the 0-16 team. That's kind of cool.
Good for them.
I mean, it's great that they're legit. Did you see the lineman cry yesterday?
No.
They interviewed him post game, and he's like, it's just to play meaningful games in December and to, not be the laughing stock. It was just there's just this like gush of release of like, we finally don't suck. He'd been there for a long time.
That is coaching too. I mean, that has been coaching and rebuilding. And I mean, they did it the right way. It's not fluky that they're as good as they are.
Right. And it's right. And it fits the city, the vibe, the blue collar sort of scrappy. It's cool. I like it. Good for them. I hope they win one. I hope they win a couple. I hope they're like a real story. And I hope they're good for a few years. I think, and I love that Goff, like he was like a castaway, like just get rid of this guy. He's part of a deal. He's a salary dump. And we're going to go win it all with Stafford, which they did, I was rooting for that too. But I also like the other end of this story. And I'm glad that Goff's like a legitimate Super Bowl contending
how about a Rams at Lions divisional round playoff game?
That's actually very possible.
That would be great.
That's a great story, right?
What would Detroit do? I mean, Stafford was there driving them down. They're screaming and hating him.
Yeah, you gotta hate him.
Damn legend in that town.
Yeah. He's not as hateable as some of the other guys who have left. Favre and Rodgers were easier to hate when they left.
Right.
but yeah, when he comes back to your house, you gotta boo. You gotta boo that man.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to the Lions. So I'm happy for them.
Well, I'm gonna say that Arthur Smith didn't lose that game yesterday, but I'm not gonna go so far as to give that offense kudos. But the Buccaneers had quite a performance yesterday from Mr. Mike Evans again. The only one on my team. While Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyler Hockenson combined for 10 fantasy points for me. The three of them combined for 10. Meanwhile, Mike Evans was busting 20 on his own. So I'm giving it to Mike Evans, and that the Bucs need to get their head straight on him, not let him get away. I'd love for him to go to Atlanta if he does leave.
We don't need any more guys they're never going to throw it to.
There's obviously a quarterback involved too.
We have a big list of those guys already.
We don't have to get him unless we get a quarterback.
I love Mike Evans. Andreas and I went to a Thursday night game in Tampa one time, Falcons Bucks. Man, it was like a workshop. Anything that was even it was just like thunk, thunk. And he's so tall and gangly and athletic. And I love that guy. He's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's still good. Yeah, for sure. I think it's only Jerry Rice he's on the list with for 1,000-yard seasons in a row to open a career.
Yeah, I don't remember what the number was, but it was impressive.
It's all of them. He's never had one that wasn't 1,000 yards. That's kind of amazing with all the injuries and all the things that go wrong and offenses that ebb and flow. And Jameis Winston, you know.
I mean, wasn't Johnny Football his quarterback at A&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I think they both probably made the other one look pretty good for a while there.
Yeah, he can just drop back and throw it up high to Evans, let him catch it. He doesn't have to practice or learn any plays or anything. Where's he at? We throw it that way.
Where is he at? I thought you meant Johnny Manziel. Where is he
Yeah,
at?
where's he at? I know where he's at.
He's drinking.
He's drunk on Christmas.
Keith Cocking chiming in the comments. The last day of this year will be 1-2-3, 1-2-3.
Well,
12/31/23. What kind of nerd fun fact is that, Keith? What are you doing?
that's one he heard on Instagram.
All right. I didn't. Hey, Ryan Chambers chimed in here. He says, Merry Christmas to the APL live crew. I'm at work, so I missed the first part, but nice to see you clowns on the show.
At work.
Fireman.
Wow. Us and firemen. That's who works on Christmas.
Days off. There's a fire, Glenn.
There's a podcast that needs recording. Let's get on it.
You and me are like the firemen of the country.
That's what they should call us. The Fireman Podcast.
Christmas Schmishmas. We got to do a podcast. We don't want to let down the. Oh, it's funny.
Update from Kansas City, 17-7 still favor of the Raiders with 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
I love that. I've got a shot at the Fantasy Super Bowl in the All Pro Lines Listener League. I got to beat Viking Vixen this week, and she's got Rashi Rice today.
That's trouble.
Well, so far so good. What's the matter with Mahomes this year? He's just like
he's very yelly.
There's like a film of he's just not quite his former self this season.
It's
Something's
called
going wrong.
Taylor Swift.
He needs a one. He needs Mike Evans. That's who needs Mike Evans.
He's got Kelsey, but Kelsey and Taylor's there today.
Is she?
Yep.
That's good.
Guess what? They've shown her on TV.
Guess what?
Then you know what they did after that? Showed her again. Showed her again.
She's the Time Person of the Year.
That is something. I believe it.
You know, one year they gave it to Hitler, so it's not always.
What are you saying about Taylor?
I'm just saying it's not always a compliment.
Perhaps she's the leader of an underground fascist movement.
There was a time she wasn't available to get this anointment because it was Man of the Year. It wasn't that long ago.
I remember they made it a computer one time.
Oh, is that right? The Apple or something?
Or the PC or something.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll have to. The good thing this is long. You can think of it because I haven't written one. So you and I come up with
But
one.
now it's time for which comes first. Oh, yes, it's time for which comes first. Now tell me, will this happen before that happens? It's time for which comes first.
That's pretty singing.
Oh, that's beautiful. What do you want? What's going to come first, Glenn?
Well, let's see. Let's put it on that Falcons quarterback question again.
All right.
Who is the next Falcons quarterback to win a game?
It's Heineke.
You think
He's
it's Heineke?
got two more chances, right? Is that
Yep.
where?
He's
that where we are?
the safest money. But I'll take Ritter then because Heineke's going to get pulled when we go down 15 points next week. I don't have any faith in that boy. I'll take Ritter.
I I have to say, I'm at least pleased that they're willing to change it up at quarterback. Because there's not this like, well, you throws off the hole, you got to have one. No, when both of your guys are outside the top 40 at the position, this ain't little league. If it hurts your feelings, go fuck yourself. Like you play for a quarter, you play for a quarter.
Whoever the last one that didn't throw an interception was. Ritter's ball security was just terrible. I mean,
it's actually hard to believe. Do you remember how cocky and angry he was that he fell to the third round in the draft?
Yeah. Not good.
I think the job that he has is very hard to do. That's my read.
Yes.
I think
it's
it's
only
harder
for a
than
select few.
anybody thinks. Oof.
Yeah.
All right. So you're taking Ritter. I'm taking Heineke. That's where we are.
That's which comes first.
All right. Great. You got any quizzes for me?
I think we ought to let these people go have their Christmas.
Prep today, as I sometimes do. All right. That's a good note.
Yeah. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, man. It's nice. Happy holidays to you, brother.
You too, man. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And thanks for listening, everybody. And, hope you get what you want in the fantasy playoffs and hope your real teams win the way you want. And Happy New Year, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right around the corner.
1, 2, 3.